We're here with City of Canton Law Director Joe Martuccio, and we're going to be asking a series of questions about the initiative by Councilman Edmund Mack, Ward 8, to get charter government issue on the ballot for November. Councilman Mack sent a letter on June 19th to Canton City Auditor R.A. Mallon asking that processes be invoked to get that to be a reality. And so there's nobody better in the city of Canton than Law Director Martuccio to describe in general the processes from the initiative of the letter on. So, Law Director, please.
Thank you, Martin, for the opportunity to do this. Hello to everyone. The process begins with the Constitution of Ohio. Back in 1912, over 100 years ago, home rule and other provisions were put in the Ohio Constitution. There's a provision in Article 18, Section 8, that talks about becoming a charter city. And it says it can either be done by an ordinance passed by the local city council or by initiative, where the people bring petitions to the legislative body and say, we would like to try to get a charter city. That's what Councilman Edmund Mack has done. He has presented to the city auditor and others numerous petitions, including over 900 signatures, and I believe 720 something were necessary, to say we the people want to have a chance at voting for a charter government via initiative. So the initiative being initiated by the people. So those have been filed with the city auditor. They will also then go to the Board of Elections for verification of the signatures to make sure that they meet the criteria. Once that happens, the next step is in City Council in Canton. We'll be preparing an ordinance. I'll be preparing an ordinance in the Law Department that says to Council, because of the Constitution of Ohio, because of the court cases that have said they have the duty to receive this and keep it moving forward, provided the signatures are valid, Council will then get an ordinance that will say that they're going to have the initiative go over to the Board of Elections and on to the general election ballot on the first Tuesday of November. In the meantime, there's a deadline for that. There's always a deadline to get stuff on for a primary or a general election. I believe this one is in early August 5th perhaps. That will give the people who want to run to be on the Charter Commission time to get petitions and get their signatures so they can be people who are voted upon. Now, once this all hits, assuming everything is good, the ordinance, the signatures, assuming it gets on the ballot in November, what happens then is the voters go to the booths, and the first question they're asked is, do you want the city of Canton to frame a charter for government, a charter government? Yes or no? If they punch yes or touch yes, then they're asked, choose from the list of all of these folks who have qualified to be on this list, and the top 15 vote getters will be the commission, the top 15. Those folks then will have a year, assuming the yeses win. If the yeses win, the commission is formed, and those folks have a year to come up with a charter government. Almost a year. About a month before the election, there's a duty on the clerk of council to mail copies of the proposed charter government to each and every resident in the city of Canton. So at least a month before the election, sometime next fall, if this all happens, the following fall, they'll get a draft or a petition or a version of a proposed charter form of government that then the people vote on again. So the first vote, assuming everything makes it to the ballot, is this November to start the process. The second vote is a year later. If a charter commission puts together a plan to give to people, the second vote is, do you like this plan or do you not? And it's thumbs up or thumbs down. There's no line item veto. It's either yes for the plan or no for the plan. And that's what happened back in, I think, 1964 and in the 19-teens and in the 1920s. There were 3 attempts over the last nearly 100 years to get a charter government. But those 3 proposed what some thought were major changes, or radical changes to the form of government they were used to, and none of them passed. But this one, I assume, will be more incremental, more moderate.
Learn the lessons of the past.
Yes.
Now, who drafts the ordinance that, and I'm talking about the one this year, who drafts that ordinance?
I will be doing that in the law department, and we'll be using previous models of ordinances. This one will be a little different because this will clearly state that the ordinance is in front of council by the initiative petitions of the folks who've signed them and who've circulated them.
Okay. So,
and Edmund Mack, I believe, will be sponsoring that ordinance.
Does council have a veto power over whether or not it gets on the ballot?
Good question. A good question. The answer is probably not. The Supreme Court has looked at other cases. Ohio Supreme Court has looked at other cases where councils, village and municipal councils have said, well, we want to check this out, or we want to hold it so we can check that out. And the courts have said, yeah, your duty is cursory. Once it reaches you, you have to keep it moving. And if you don't, a mandamus may lie. A mandamus is when someone can challenge an public official or public body to say, you have a mandatory duty to do this. So the courts have said if council, in instance, doesn't keep it moving, unless it's fatally flawed, that they have a duty to keep it moving because the people have initiated it.
Okay, let's fast forward to the election, and where a voter votes first whether or not they're in favor of forming a charter commission, and number two, if so, selecting 15 up to 15 candidates. Now, what if somebody, is it possible for somebody to say, no, I don't want it, but then go ahead and vote on the candidates?
Yes, I think it is. I don't think one is mutually exclusive over the other. Again, it's been over 50 years since this has happened, so I'm relying on what I've read or heard in various places. But I think someone can, because the thinking may be, that's a good question, because the thinking may be, I'm not sure I want this, I don't think I want a charter form of government, but if more people than I want it, and it's going to go forward, then these are the people I think I'd like to see.
Okay,
Yeah.
That sounds like good rationale to me.
Yes.
Joe Martuccio, Law Director, City of Canton. How many years now?
15.
15.
Yes.
Thank you very much for enlightening the voters of the City of Canton, Ohio.